Rascal falls really far behind, as I believe he will miss 3 of the minions in top. So that is really problematic. You can see Rascal is trying to run up there, as Klid is on his patented J4, 27 in 5. 84.4% win rate. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right, yeah.
It's okay. It's nice. Kind of missing a little trade there. And, I mean, we've seen this before in the bottom side. Double Arcane Comet with a Varus that takes it as well. And you just forever zone the enemy comp.
And the interesting thing here is that Karma actually went for Gathering Storm, whereas Varus does have the Scorch. Generally, when we've seen this combo, you see both parties just take the Scorch.
Or the opposite, maybe.
Yeah, or just both take Gathering Storm.
Yeah, let the AD scale a bit more.
But right now, just focus on the bot lane, see how well Teddy can actually do here against this Ezreal and Galio. And things can definitely get scary. Now, Klid, due to the scaling of the Zilean, the Ezreal, and the Ornn, has the option to play low economy, whereas T1, because he's not going to be as fortunate. He needs to be power farming. He needs to be making sure that his laners are in good positions to get the dragons and try to capture them, because T1 wants a soul to win this game. Now, bot wave's coming back into T1, so Teddy and Effort can back up. This gank should never work in a million years.
Nope, it's called out and played very safely here from T1. They're just going to back away. Klid not even going to interrupt a back. Cuz going to take that time to continue power farming. Even going into Klid's jungle. Not going to find anything on that note. It's actually a first pick for life in the bottom side. Every other champion very practiced from the side of GenG.
And Olaf just getting intel, finding out when the Raptors are going to end up respawning for his team. And you look over at Faker, he already has his cull stacks getting farmed up, fleet footwork on the Corki. So we're going to have a bit of a lull state in the early game here.
Nice.
And that's not the end of the world.
No, it's just fine. Sit back, relax. You can see the wave pushing into T1. So they're just going to chill out. As the lane was in an awkward spot when the rotation was coming out of GenG. That's part of the reason why they did want to back away from any kind of gank. Kind of missing a bunch of CS here, actually, in the top side.
He's missed so much. That's why the CS score is so close, despite that giant minion wave. And remember the fact that Rascal missed some of the ones at the very beginning. So Rascal, yet again, getting the leg up in this matchup. And when we look at the minimap, the Jarvan, he is behind the Olaf, who's just getting the power farm because all of the lanes are self-sufficient. They don't really need any aid in order to do anything, and this is why it's a little bit surprising that Klid isn't opting into a low econ style. As Teddy and Effort just continuing to hard shove, still have the teleport available. Ezreal has already picked up his tier. And what we're looking to see unfold is if both parties are on even footing in an early mid-game transitional fight, GenG would be favored. In mid-game, GenG should also be favored. So the later stages also, there's not a lot of hope for T1, and that's why we mentioned, okay, hold on.
Oh boy. Well, that wasn't the cleanest engage, but they will at least trade a flash to Effort, who doesn't have to heal or anything like that. Life actually looks like he accidentally autoed before he did go for a taunt of sorts, so it looked a little bit awkward on that engage.
Well, a little bit of poke there. So the super late stages of the game, even though there's not a lot of hope, there still is some edges that T1 has with the Corki and the Varus. As that'll be the point that Jarvan and Galio are going to start tapering off. But this game is really going to be about Zilean versus Corki.
Knock-up coming in here from Kana just to try to get him out of this one, but can he try to trade this one back? Will he have the Kingslayer on time is the question. He gets the knock-up and he has to flash away.
Oh!
Dodging that one, but it is not going to matter. Rascal picks up another solo kill here up on the top side, and we were just talking about how Kana wasn't looking super comfortable up in the top lane and didn't necessarily look great in game one. And that is just going to add on to our beliefs here, LS.
Yeah, I mean, Kana looking very shaky here after a phenomenal performance against Dragon X, where he was a pretty core piece to their victory along with effort in that series. As Cuz now level 6, he's coming in here looking to actually ruin the blue, and can he get it?
He's just going for Clid right now. Double bomb comes in, but it's not going to actually get the stun, as blue will go the way of the Olaf, and now GenG's bottom lane will come in, but it's kind of just cleaning up a very big mess that's on the ground right now, because ultimate had to be used by VDD. He uses a bunch of mana. He doesn't get blue for the mid lane. Also, the dragon should go the way of T1 here.
Yep. Dragon will go. Okay, Dragon goes the way of T1.
Cuz flashes, but he's actually going back in. They're calling to go back in. There's no Zillion ultimate. And why are GenG trying to force it? Is probably the better question. As now Teddy, he wishes he was level 6. Oh, man. He can get an easy flash here. He's still going to get it anyway. As things go from bad to worse for GenG, and T1 will easily pick up what they are dropping.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a pretty nice early Dragon for T1. They get about half a longsword on all of their carry champions. So some nice gold value there. And now Cuz just going back to power farming. Let's take a look at this trade one more time. So Kana misses out on that. Rascal casts the ultimate. Gets the Bellow Breath and the Brittle procs, but you can just see that Kana mismeasured the damage that he would have available. And even though Rascal misses the pillar, doesn't end up matter. Rascal also in that clip had a biscuit available that he could have consumed. And Clid, we've seen him do this in actually many games. Sometimes he just Leroy Jenkins right into the opponents.
And it was light first. Light Leroy, and then Clid followed up with a loud Jenkins right behind him. And it didn't look good for either of them. It was just really desperate at the end of a situation where I think you just have to give it away. At that point, you lost the fight. Say, okay, that's it. Not much we can do.
And now Teddy and Effort have a advantage down there in bottom, and T1 are accelerating. This is really integral. So, in the early stage and the mid stage, on even footing, GenG would be ahead. But obviously, if T1 is ahead, they're going to have an edge. Now, typically, that's not always the case. Sometimes having an advantage actually only makes it even for some of the mid-game team fights. But in this instance, an advantage for Varus and Corki is meaningful enough against some of the magic tricks that GenG has available inside of team fights.
Yeah.
And obviously Dragons going T1's way, that's their end game. That's their goal that we mentioned very early on in T1. They're rolling good Dragons. Seconds Cloud Drake. Here we go.
Okay, so no flash available for Effort, but Teddy does have it 4-on-2. They're going to be targeting down Effort. Teams of Corruption going to go down onto Ruler, but you can see this is just domination under the turret as a proactive play does come in from GenG. They're going to lose some turret plates in mid and top, but still, they pick off 2 kills and some pressure on the bottom side.
Yeah, they relieve a lot of pressure down in bottom. They almost remove the CS deficit that was present between the 80 carries. Now, they do lose plates and a lot of minions. That is maybe actually 2 kills worth of gold that Rascal misses out on just in terms of minions. So you're really going to add it up to see who ends up coming out ahead. While it was important that GenG do that to stabilize the bot lane, it's not like it just comes over for free. As Rift Herald will give the gold over. And Zillion having his turret hurt that badly this early on is not something that he likely would have been anticipating. And right there, Clid stealing that away is very big because he's down 2 levels right now in the jungle.
Yeah, catch-up XP ain't the same nowadays. As times have changed, we're going to take another look here. TP onto the flag.
Yep. TP onto the flag. They come in with the Ornn ultimate. And Teddy surprisingly flashes here, but there's never a universe where he's getting a kill. So, should have just embraced death.
Yeah. If Ruler had turret aggro, maybe. But the second he sees that Ruler doesn't, you just got to let that one go as well. It's hard to make those decisions in a split second under this much pressure, so we'll hand it to him. As now GenG, they've identified the importance on the Dragons, and they say, well, let's prepare for this 45 seconds ahead. Glid hiding now in the pit.
And this is a scary team fight. Rascal isn't going to be here. Zillion doesn't have his flash, neither does Ruler. We'll see how both of these parties end up posturing for it. You can see Baker just really in the driver's seat here in mid lane. Already completed his call, almost has the Trinity Force even, most likely. Perhaps just like 3 minutes or so away, 4 minutes maybe from completing that, given that he has so many turret plates inside of him, a kill and an assist.
Chains of Corruption went down onto Ruler. He doesn't have his flash, and it doesn't look like he's got Arcane Shift either. He's just going to go down. As you would have to imagine that was Teddy baiting him into a fight. And I don't know how that's even possible. Teddy's at full health, full mana, basically.
Yep.
Say 80% each as the dominoes fall one by one. As GenG are going to lose another kill, another objective. And T1 are just scooping it up, saying thank you very much.
Nope, Mountain. So Mountain Dragon is going to be the dragon that's coming up. Now, it's not the best one. So if you're a GenG fan, that is, okay, well, hold on.
Well, he's desperately trying to clear the wave, but it's not going to happen.
Whoa.
As he is not going to survive, just barely gets away that last auto from Ruler. As nice little rotation, the teleport comes in from Ruler. He's going to get a bunch of gold from this, gets the kill, and some turret plates. But yes, very much mixing things up here on the map from behind.
Well, Ruler is trying to get any gold that he possibly can right now. Ionian Boots and Monomune on the Ezreal. Looks like he's going to be going for the Iceborne Gauntlet this game to have added resistance against the Varus's poke, as well as even the Olaf. Going to be very effective there. Now, interestingly, Cuz is going for the Cinderhulk on the Olaf. Not going to be going for the Warrior Enchant. And you can just see Chains of Corruption lands.
And he Arcane Shifts at the same time.
And Cuz just senses blood in the water, goes in, ends up bringing him down. And the teleport comes in here. Kana tried his best to defend against it, but it just wasn't quite enough in the end.
Yeah, you can see he's clearing the wave, but maybe if he had used the True Shot Barrage onto Ezreal and just tried to, you know, focus all of his attention onto that squishy 80 carry that's only level 8, that may have worked out better for him. But hindsight is 20/20. Under that pressure, he decided he would just go for the wave. Didn't exactly work out. True Shot Barrage, again, ain't what it used to be in terms of clearing minion waves, that's for sure.
And right now, in this game, it's almost a 3,000 gold lead here for T1, 3 minutes until the Mountain. Now, again, the unfortunate good thing for, or not unfortunate, I'm not really quite sure what you would feel if you're GenG, is that at least it's not an ocean. It doesn't feel good that it could be a Mountain Soul, but T1's champions utilize Mountain Soul much less effectively than an Ocean Soul. None of them really stack any sort of resistances except for that Olaf, and so it's not like they're getting a lot of ramp from the 12% if they make it the distance. However, it can be problematic to the Wombo combo engage, but Zillion and Ezreal can actually fight against it.
BDD here, he's going to have to call in his brother Galio to help against that dive. As Shirley spawning here, 15:58 was the timer. As T1 really making a case to put on as much pressure up on the top side as possible. We see Karma coming in here as well. Ruler and Glid to try to fight against it with 4 actually from GenG. Now, I'm not sure if they should even fight over this, surely, because we've talked about this before. Turret plates are gone. Even the mid turret is gone. surely the second Rift Herald is not going to get that much value.
No, and the thing about this is Rift Herald, when there's no turret plates, it's not worth losing your life over. And so we'll see how hard both of these teams actually commit to this. But all too often, we've seen team comps that have scaling in their kits all too eager to take a team fight even when they're down on gold or down on levels and whatnot. As Faker making his way up to top lane right now. He's just going to try to shove in the wave. He's going to be met by BDD, who's just going to throw out some Brazilian bombs. And the Ornn items are going to start coming in soon. And this is going to be the scary part of the game. Zilean does benefit from the fact that he's going for the glacial items, so typically they are more affordable. It makes very good use out of the recipe components that build into them as well. But the way that it's looking is T1 could just very well win this next Mountain Drake, and then GenG have one last dance, which is going to be at the Mountain Soul. But if GenG can win this fight and get the Mountain Drake, I think it really closes off a lot of chances that T1 would have to win, because that would delay them so much.
Real question is if they can actually put up a fight at this Mountain Drake. I mean, Faker has hit over 200 CS already. The guy is almost 2,000 gold ahead of anyone else on the Rift. He has Trinity Force finish and Manamir. No Muramana just yet, but this Corki is already massive. And that is just something you're going to have to factor into your calculations if you're GenG. They'd love a hard engage onto him, but he's going to have... I don't think he's got the package, but he's going to be extremely mobile. He has Flash and Valkyrie and the Karma. Can you lock down this pick is really the question.
Well, this is going to be the close fight, where T1's advantage is not super sizable. Because GenG, they have very durable, tanky, beefy bros, backed up by the Ezreal and the Zilean. You can see Kana looking for some sort of a flank in the backside as, Teddy's going to recall, get a second lethality item, and I don't know what.
Surely okay, can he get the smite down? No, it's going to go the way of Klid, as now Ragnarok on the way out of the fight here is because the smite does not land. That is going to be key for GenG sticking alive here in this game.
And that's really big for them because Ornn gets such insane value off of just that one Mountain Drake, and Ezreal going for the Iceborne Gauntlet. This is potentially 4 Mountain Drakes that could be stacked up by GenG. So,
Klid! Oh no, that is not the mistake you want to make. Although it is just going to get the Zilean ultimate out for now. He does sustain a ton of damage on the backside. Doesn't end up being too critical at the end of the day, but still able to take down the Zilean ultimate for now. But very key for GenG that actually they are able to take down Shirley and not allow her to get her charge down. Yeah. And now the game is much more evened out, as we're probably just gonna have a lull state here. We don't freeze in the LCK. It's not not a thing that we do here, because he used to have a 2-level lead over Klid, but obviously with some aid from Zilean, Klid has managed to catch up a bit. It's a 3,000 gold lead right now for T1. The Infernal Dragon in isolation will still be more valuable than the Mountain, but the fact that GenG are threatening to now pick more and more up, and they denied the very much needed okay. Teddy under turret, basically getting out-traded here by Ruler. And you can see the Ruler full health. He's not having any of it. He's really able to shut down the 1v1 there, essentially, and take control of this mid lane. It does feel like the tides are turning ever so slightly in favor of GenG, as they have a nice little push going on here with the Glacial Augment Zilean to help zone away some of the members of T1.
For GenG, they are getting some ground for themselves. Still a 3,000 gold lead, but Rascal does have both of his ornaments now upgraded, as he has hit level 13. So it's going to probably be the Frozen Fist upgraded for Ezreal, unless he can hold off for a while. They'll probably end up purchasing the Blade of the Ruin King, and you could just get Might of the Ruin King there. That would be fine. As Cuz trying to skirt around the vision that the Scuttle Crab has granted, but bot tier 1 turret is looking like it's poised to fall as Bertha gonna be picked up here by Faker.
Yeah, why not just add to his fat stacks that he's got already? He's looking at a third item. At this point, already has picked up the Zeal. So looking to add a little bit of crit into the builds, as is the case normally with the Corki. And you were right about that lull state. It doesn't really look like either team wants to make a big play just yet. So we're going to be sitting back waiting for the Mountain Drake that's going to spawn in about 2 minutes.
And the thing about this, okay, so a very late Rod of Ages picked up by the Zillion. So that is going to take some time to stack up. However, even at the next Mountain Dragon fight in a minute and a half, the beefy bros on the side of GenG, I mean, the Zillion even has HP. So it's not super easy for T1, and you're going to just see more and more the problems that the Olaf has. So even though he got really far ahead early game, even though he had a really good start, he was up 2 levels, he's decaying very rapidly right now. There is a lot of friction that is slowing this champion down here in this game. And things are just going to become more problematic. And it's going to be all about the Corki and the Varus, because even the Sylas, how does he realistically engage? All that he is GenG have Ornn, and then T1 have Ornn at home.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
exactly
much,
what's
yeah.
going on.
That is actually what it is. I mean, he is a Call the Force God bot, and nothing really else. And we'll just have to hope that his Call the Force Guards are better, I suppose, at this point in time. Not much really else we can expect from Kana, especially the way the series has been going for this player. Mountain Drake spawning 30 seconds. Ooh, not sure how that didn't hit him, as he's got 200 armor.
It's pretty good. It's all
How
right.
is that even possible? What?
Well, 200 armor on Ezreal, so they're electing to upgrade that. There's not another item to be ornamented.
Now, Ruler did take an immense amount of poke damage. You were talking about the beefy boys, yes. Obviously, lots of them on the side of GenG, but Faker has been poking him down. He's just going to be able to package away from that one. Gets engaged on in the back line, and Teddy is in a really rough spot, but the Silas is going mad in the back line. Do they have the damage? As yes, Teddy is going to die, but Faker stays alive, and Kana and Cuz, the unexpected duo, get into the back line and assassinated just like that. And now they're looking at the Baron here for T1.
They're looking at the Baron, and because of the champions that GenG have, Ornn and Galio, they can't just go do the mountain, unfortunately. Yeah. So this is going to be a Baron into a mountain capture by T1. And oh,
well,
man.
They're going to try to engage here. Not sure what they can do. Faker, Valkyrie's over the wall. And who's stuck in here with who, as Rascal and Life have to get out of here. Desperate to do the damage, but even a TP coming in as Ezreal TPs into the back line, but he's going to go down extremely low. Kingslayer to death. Down will go Ruler, and more kills added to the side of T1.
And now Faker going to TP bottom. Yes, there's the channel. As we go into the replay, watch BDD, because I don't know what he was looking at here. He gets hit by the Ornn ultimate, and they just gunned for him. Like, all they could see was red. And Ruler brought down immediately, too. So GenG, their integral core pieces to the team composition, fell immediately in the team fight. The 2 champs that they need to protect at all costs wasn't able to be protected. So Baron goes down, and then T1, they say to call an ambulance, but not for them.
Effort flashes it, still dies, but he is a hero. Kana, though, the unexpected return of the king, perhaps, up there in the top side. As, yes, BDD has flash available and ultimate available when he gets ulted there by Kana. But still, Kana able to turn that fight around and make it big, because as you mentioned, once you take out Zillion, Ruler is a sitting duck as he's desperately trying to get into the fight. Just way too ham. We're Clid in life and not really able to get as much value out of their engage. And now with the Baron and another Mountain Drake, T1 look to push and take some more objectives.
Yeah, and they've extended their gold lead to 7,000 right now, as this is really hard to juggle.
Oh.
And again, BDD has a quest item. The quest item's not even halfway complete. Rod of Ages is only at 4 stacks right now. Things are looking really rough as more and more turrets begin to fall. That Mountain Drake was picked up as well, and Varus is a pretty good champion.
Yeah, it's Varus and Corki together. The two bros, they high five once again to clap some of the enemy team with their poke damage, and it's pretty intense what they're able to do together, even with the beefy boys in the front. Nice little stun there onto the Olaf, a bit awkward for him. He's gonna have the Ragnarok available, and the Call of Force God interrupted by the Call of the Silas God. And no kills will come down here. Cuz will be just fine.
And now T1 is just going to take a brief reset. They have an 8,500 gold lead almost. Can't believe you did that.
Why?
Can't believe it. You know, I mean, that wolf just
Can't
wanted to
believe
be
he does.
left alone. And he said, "You're coming with me."
He has 324 CS in 28 minutes. He took it away. He's really great at it. And
yeah.
That's one way you can get really far ahead on CS as well. Just take every single thing on the map, including the enemy's CS.
And you look at all of the items. Lord Dominic's Regard actually coming out here this time as the Varus to give him a little bit more of pen against all the beefy boys on the side of GenG. And it's really problematic. GenG, they need to stabilize, but it's going to be so hard because in 2.5 minutes, the Mountain Soul fight, T1 are just, they're going to slap them with their wallets. It's going to be a really, really difficult fight for GenG to win. And it's not even like GenG can utilize a phalanx or anything because the low ground's going to grant T1 the ability to concave very well with the Corki, Karma, and Varus. And even if GenG do funnel up, the Silas will get a lot of value.
All right, well, what is the play here? As already, effort is going to be targeted down. They're trying to take out the Karma, but in with the package goes Baker and Kana and Clid, or rather Cuz, able to zone them out here really nicely. Rascal not quite able to land it, and the front line is just going to be decimated. As eventually this entire team with a bit of a mistiming there on the arrow, but it just doesn't matter. It's Teddy is frontlining now. BDD and Clid going home with their tails between their legs. Nothing they can do to stop this, as they're going to try to come back now with full health and clear the wave. That is
the minions!
The main objective, but the minions are going to split, and now with the TP, they should have enough time to poke down the turrets and try to take the game. Clid, he knows stopwatch is a great item, but it's not good enough to keep him alive. And T1, they're going to look for the win right now. As down will go the Zillion. He's got a TA, he's just fine. And there you go. GG, the Nexus goes down. Kana saying, I can be Zillion too. And T1 will just continue their dominance in this final.
And, okay, so T1 with an explosive turn of events in the mid game in order to bust it wide open, convert it into a Baron capture, pick up the Mountain as well, and everything just went their way. From that point, it reached the point where GenG should have stabilized, and then T1, much like they've done to many other teams, and even GenG themselves this split, managed to corral them into very peculiar spots, find the openings, and then capitalize and outplay them mechanically. And this is really dangerous. GenG are now down 0-2 against T1. And that last game should have been one that they should have been able to win.
I mean, they had the ability to, but the way that they played it did not show that they had the understanding or the wherewithal or the patience even to get to a point where they were in a position to win some fights. A lot of the time it was just desperate dives. Even at the Dragon, you remember they got invaded and they're like, we've got Galio, Jarvan, we gotta go in, and then the two of them just get blown up, and it's like, well, now you've lost the early game, guys. Not sure what you're gonna do from here. And T1, they look poised, they look confident, best of fives. GenG, not so much. They don't really look on the same level tonight.
No, they don't. But the one upside that GenG does have going for them is Rascal has been winning laning phase. That is something that they are getting an edge in. But the problem is that they're falling apart in the mid game consistently to T1. And now being down 0-2, what kind of nerves might even come into it? What are they even thinking? Because in some of those team fights, Zilean died with flash up. Ezreal died with flash up. And ult. So many mechanical blunders are being present.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder what is really attributing to it, but T1 looks so quick and decisive in some of the moments. It's nice to see.
Yeah, as we were saying, I mean, they look ready to go. The Zilean pick looked, I don't know what to call it. It just looked ineffective at best. And it just got dumped on in lane, got invaded on, didn't have the power or the priority at all. Faker just owning that with an iron fist. He's able to get the most CS so far in the finals out of anybody, and by far in the game. So I don't really know. It comes to the point now as commentators where we struggle to find a way to think up how GenG can change their course, because right now it looks like they're on a course for disaster.
Yeah.
That's really not where they want to be. It's pretty unfortunate for GenG, but T1 looking fantastic and clean here in this best of 5. They take the first 2 games, and now they're on match points. LS.
This is scary. This is really, really scary if you're a GenG fan, but let's see if they can bring it back when we return.
Yep, we will be back, guys, in about 5-10 minutes with game number 3.
사람 왼쪽 나 걸었다. 나 죽을 수도 있어 일단. 왼쪽 살짝. 살아. 앞라인 봐. 들어가지 마. 앞라인 봐. 앞라인 무조건 앞라인. 야 이긴다. 들어와. 이겨. 그렇게 봐줘.
딜량 봐도 돼.
야 가자. 상당아 그만. 야 비전 없어. 나이스. 야 끝내.
들어가자.
야 그만.
들어가지 마.
끝내자 이거.
이거 하려고
내가 오버버 피 채우고 앞에 있을게.
다르반
기다려.
초식에.
내가 앞에 있을 테니까 기다려.
퍼져 질련 시계 조심. 오케이.
내가 앞에서 쓸게.
들어올 거야 다르반.
질려 누구.
타워 쳐야 돼.
타워.
웨이브 지어지게 타워 쳐야 돼.
타워 쳐.
타워 쳐. 위에 타워. 끝내자. 타워. 야 질련 노공. 타워.
딜량 볼게.
타워 쳐야 돼. 아 천천히 해도 이긴다. 나이스. 타워.
야, 잡자.
야, 내 끝낼게.
야, 이제 끝낼게 나.
야, 나 죽어. 아, 시드.
살려줄게.
오케이, 나이스.
잘했다.
죽는 줄 알았네.
LCK 최다 우승 V8 달성한 대황습 T1. 덕분에 인터뷰 때마다 우승컵으로 플렉스해버렸지 뭐야. 하지만 우린 아직 목마르다. DRX 꺾고 결승 진출 9번째 우승에 도전하는 T1. 지금부터 T1의 스프링 풀스토리를 살펴보죠. 3분 속성 스프링의 T1에 대해 알아보자. 역대급 드림팀으로 2019 LCK를 제패했던 그들 칸, 클리드, 그리고 꼬마 감독님 그동안 땡큐 했습니다. 2020 야심차게 영입한 롤드컵 청부사 킹정수 감독과 로얄 로더 커즈.
파이팅.
그래서 탑 누군데 전설로 이어졌던 T1 탑 후계자는 누가 될지 소문만 무성한 가운데 혹시? 응 아니야 칸나 로치.
칸의 의지를 받아서 칸나가 잘해보도록 하겠습니다.
그렇게 완성된 새로운 T1은 2020 LCK 막강한 조합 시너지를 예고하는데 시작부터 고개를 숙여야만 했던 T1 킹정수 감독에겐
다 계획이 있구나.
그건 바로 루어이 주반에 모든 걸 걸었다. 그 덕분일까?
아 버스 탔다. 감사합니다.
초반에 망해도 귀신같이 뒤집는 장면이 자주 나왔고 테디 엔딩에 걸맞는 태사기의 눈부신 활약으로 T1은 행복롤 중. 내가 왜 테디를 말하지 않은 거지? 한국 최초 오너형 미드라이너 페단주까지 번갈아가면서 캐리 돌아왔구나 고저파. 테디 1000킬 페이커 최초 2000킬의 영광을 안으며 1라운드를 7승 2패로 마무리. 디펜딩 챔피언의 저력을 보여주었다.
이거는 저처럼 돈 많은 사람들이 많이 하면 됩니다.
휴식기를 지내고 난 뒤 다시 시작된 2라운드 다양한 전술을 시도해 볼 것. 엘림을 투입해 늘어지던 중후반 스타일을 과감히 벗어던졌다. POG까지 받은 엘림의 데뷔전은 성공적. 자체 MVP 선정 또한 굉장히 민주적. 형들 차이. 강형 송형 부럽지 않은 이형 박형의 승승장구. 형이 안 되면 동생 차이. 든든한 칸나 에포트 그리고 정글 대통령 커즈도 친형제 같은 팀워크를 뽐내며 3강팀 상대로 전승 달성. 킹슬레이어 하나생명까지 무찌르며 드디어 고개를 들 수 있게 되었다. 슈퍼소울에 대적할 월드혁은 코던빈을 제치고 LCK 통산 545전 기록. 진정한 리빙 레전드로 거듭나게 되는데 정규 시즌 1위 직행팀은 젠G. DRX에게 인장 레드무비와 함께 일격을 날려준 덕분에 고맙다 APK. T1이 2위를 확정짓다. 결승을 향한 최종 관문에서 맞닥뜨린 DRX. 다전제에 오르면 질 자신이 없는 킹 오브 더 비오 5. 첫 다전제였던 신인 칸나는 도란을 4번 솔킬내며 칸나로 레벨업.
결승전으로 갑니다.
젠지 대 T1 결승 성사. 17 롤드컵의 복수를 앞두고 있는데
선에서 알아서 다 처리하겠습니다.
진짜 대형 세단 타고 우승컵 지키러 온 디펜딩 챔피언 T1. LCK 역사상 V9은 없었다. 그들의 9번째 우승을 향한 도전.
결승전 때는 3대0으로 빨리 끝내고 즐겁게 회식하는 게 하나의 소확행입니다.
페이커가 소확행 이루고 T1이 또 한 번 새로운 역사를 써내려갈지 기대해보자.
얘들아 승용보 올려라. 마지막으로 TFT 모바일 도동동작 또로로로 갤럭시 도동동작 TFT 모바일 도동동작 또로로로 갤럭시 도동동작 또 떨어져 허구와 날라다타. 여긴 갤럭시 너의 자식 얼럭키다. 너의 두뇌 그래서 타지 않아. 21세기 네 전략 이래 전략 능지 차이 나는 널 능지 터참이 롤 아재 롤린 이돌 롤린 인더들 자 이제 누나 막간 담아 회전 초밥 뒤집개로 뒤집어라 레디 새끼. TFT 모바일 도동동작 또로로로 갤럭시 도동동작 TFT 모바일 도동동작 또로로로 갤럭시 도동동작 라이어가 멋이 도동동작 TFT 모바일 도동동작 온유월 서리 가득 찰노동작 또로로로 갤럭시 도동동작 하다 현타 도동동작 TFT 갤럭시 도동동작 유체 뉴 시너지 전설등장 멋이 팬츠 우주 도동동작. 리그 오브 레전드 전략 게임 TFT 모바일 도동동작.
Welcome back, guys, to the LCK Analyst Desk. This is the first time we've done it. I can hear myself now. I can probably... Jason, can you hear me? Oh my goodness, I can hear you as well. This is absolutely fantastic. And what wasn't necessarily as fantastic was GenG's performance in game number 2. But from the very beginning, I actually really loved it. I thought their draft was really smart.
You mentioned about the rock, paper, and scissors thing.
Yeah, and this is something that you told me existed in Korea as well, with if you're up against a poke comp, you pick a dive comp. That's exactly what GenG did, knowing that T1 were likely to stick to what was working. So really liked that, and it's not going to be another one of those sort of front-to-back teamfight comps, which is, I guess, the paper in that particular rock, paper, scissors that wasn't able to take down the poke comp that stopped it from being able to engage. So really cool. Execution, not so good. And I think that it's showing that T1 are just, on this day, a better team.
I mean, GenG really tried really hard to pull off the meaning inside this engage comp, the dive comp, and they did get a lot of lead, making some kills during the turret dives, but at the same time, T1 was so comfortably getting so much lead somehow.
Yeah. I don't know, it's one of those things, it feels inevitable sometimes in a lot of these T1 games. When T1 are in form, it's almost, you see what's happening in the game and you're thinking, oh, GenG's doing really well. Look at the top of your screen, and no, they're not. And, you know, Faker sitting at like 12 CS per minute, absolutely untouched. BDD looking like a shadow of his former self, not being able to make the Zillion pick work almost at all. Was really difficult to watch. Yeah. Not so good. And if we remember back, I mean, Yuumi did 10k in the game before, so she does a lot of damage, but still, that's not the kind of numbers that you need out of a Zillion when it's just him and the Ezreal that are able to get anything done. As having a look at this replay here.
So this was the perfect timing to actually GenG to engage in, because Teddy's flash was down.
And I think what we need to keep our eye on is BDD and his positioning, and also watch for Canna, because I think Canna also had a good turnaround after what was another difficult early game. Because look, BDD never comes down after this knockup.
And it was so disjointed when Clit was going forward with the flag and drag, and then Life was also following with the ultimate. Well, BDD was in the bouncy
castle, yeah.
castle, and never able to use any of his ultimate or any skills.
And the whole time, Ruler is just sitting in between both parties, being like, "Can someone please peel for me?" But they couldn't.
And at the same time, when Teddy was actually locked in the J4 ult, he was actually walking forward to land his ultimate on Teddy. That was the Korean analyst.
Yeah, so Teddy actually moving, ignoring completely that there's a big Jarvan in front of him, and instead deciding that he'll kill the 80 carry, lock him down, like you say, keep him in that awkward position in between the team fights. But honestly, like, that situation should never happen if GenG are able to play that composition correctly. So I really hope that this isn't now Edgar going back and saying, oh, well, that was the wrong composition choice, and we should try something different. I actually think that that was a great idea. You can do it with lots of different champions. I mean, of course, Jarvan Galio is a fantastic combo to work with, but you can use Galio and pair it with something like a Nocturne if you'd like to as well. We've seen that so many times in the past. I want to see Edgar stick to that, stick to his guns, and, I don't know, give them Michael's secret stuff so that GenG actually performs to the level we know that they can. Because BDD playing like this, if he plays like that in game number 3, I think everyone's going to be very sad. Because we know what this guy's potential is. He was the damn MVP of the split.
I know, right? And he said his goal for the final series is getting the finals MVP and winning 4 awards this split, but this performance is never close to that.
But do you know what the great news is? If they win the next 3 games, then he will be able to theoretically do it, because you only get MVPs in games that you win. As we have a listen in to that team fight from T1.
So we have no smite. So since they have TP, we actually maybe rotate to fight. So let them take the dragon, but actually GenG players weren't even trying to contest it.
Now they know that they're not
Take it and just back. Take it and just back. Just burst it. Just burst the Baron. And then watch fight. And get him. Ezreal TP'd on blue. Get him. Ezreal coming from blue. Ez has no arcane shift and flash, and that was it.
And that was just the end of the team fight, and honestly the end of the game at that particular moment. There wasn't really much more after that, and I think that Ruler's TP there does show that it's starting to get to him as well, which is really worrying because he is the glue that holds GenG together in times like this, right? He feels like the untiltable one on this team, and it's really sad looking at him making a decision like that that seems so rash in that moment to try and salvage something that honestly wasn't salvageable at that point in time, right? They needed to disengage and reassess their options, I guess.
So T1 was outstanding in game number 1 and 2, so I don't think it's gonna be really easy to come back from such a big loss, but it is time to GenG to show what they prepared. Or the Korean analysts are also focusing on Ornn. They should maybe not put Ornn in such a high priority. Maybe they should think of other alternative picks for top lane.
Yeah, that could be an option. Also, you can ban away the Sylas. I think that it's time to ban Varus. I think that they haven't shown that they actually have a way to go against this poke style composition. So force T1 to show their next card, their next hand, you know, and the other options that they have planned for them, because this obviously isn't something that GenG is comfortable going up against. So now it's time to flip the script and trying to get things on your own terms. But that can be very hard because now they allow T1 to surprise them with yet another strategy. As ladies and gentlemen, let's find out what that is as we move into game number 3.
Thank you once again, Atlas and G-Sun, for helping out with the English analyst desk there. As certainly things are looking grim for GenG, whereas on the opposite side, T1 looks so comfortable and ready to go. You see Ruler here nodding his head. He's been in this position before. He's been on big stages behind and tried to claw his way back. Has been successful. So you can see the veteran here in Ruler is going to try to lead the way once again, as Atlas was talking about, as kind of the cool head of the team to bring their team back in this series.
Yeah, and we'll see what GenG can actually manage to pull off, as they selected blue coming into this game, and that's going to mean that T1 get counter picks available to them. So I'm now interested to see if T1's just going to do something like Kalista Varus banaways on red, and then maybe even just still invite Aphelios in, because Teddy, one of the few marksman players in the world that can actually play some mages down in bot lane. We've also seen him pilot Cassiopeia even in recent weeks, so this will be interesting.
Yeah. You just see them there on the desk, I suppose you could say, at their chairs, and the two of them look like masterminds, both Faker and Teddy, next to each other, sitting down. And so far, they have really been that for T1. As we do jump into the draft here for game 3, GenG not changing up their bans too much. Still, once again, high focus on the jungle, this time taking Olaf away.
And the bans are not what I was anticipating, as T1, the Zoe and Set banned away, and now GenG, okay, they banned away the Varus. What could they possibly be worried about getting their hands on first? As T1 also banned away the Graves. I'm not sure about this. I'm actually
stumped.
I'm a bit stupefied.
Largely stupefied here with me on the desk, as GenG have made some interesting calls, and so have T1, as Sejuani is the first pick here. As no more Aphelios or Ornn priority. They're going to go and take a very different route here and give Klid something new.
Well, Aphelios is being hovered right now. And so then it would come over to BDD or Ruler to try to come up with some of the answers for the Aphelios. As T1, I mean, they're the ones that could actually just R1, R2, Aphelios, Ornn, even though I believe it is punishable. You can do that. I think that R1, R2, 80 jungle is nice. Sylas is a very interesting champion in that he can also go 3 roles. So, retaining a lot of value there as a multi-flex pick. Triflex.
Yeah, it also soft counters any kind of Ornn follow-up pick from GenG, who have shown that they have loved Ornn picking, whereas Kana has just loved playing the Sylas into that. As now Kallista's going to be picked up, will they just pick up Thresh or something else to go along with the Kalista? Looks like perhaps not, as Jace is going to be picked up here, so a very different look to the GenG composition here on blue side.
And now Kana could actually just go for Ornn. He could also handshake a knife fight by taking Lucian or something like that, but GenG are full all in right now as it's currently standing, and the ball's in T1's court to just dial back, size it up, and then have more mid-rangey and scaling champions on their side. So Thresh is picked up here by T1. We're going to move into the second ban phase, probably see Taric maybe get banned away.
Yeah, Kalista Taric, another very popular combo in recent times. Blitzcrank common into the Thresh in the bottom side. And we know that Effort is a great Thresh player anyway, so I feel like that pick makes sense on many different levels. Taking it away, granting it for Effort, you've got bans right after. The Corki going to be taken away from Faker this time around, so for those of you who were hoping for Faker onto something a little bit more carry-oriented, or at least anything that's not Corki, you're in luck.
Yep, and there is the Taric, finally getting banned away by T1. Now the thing here is that T1 will probably select either another flex champion or just the mid champion outright on R4 in order to still retain value on the Sylas, although he's most likely only ending up in mid, or jungle, sorry, as it currently stands, as LeBlanc was banned away, Azir now, pretty common R4, and this is Korea, so it's not likely that we're going to see something like Vigar come in here, even though he's really good against all four champions on the side of T1 right now. So I'm really curious to see, with Corki banned away, we could see Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz would be somewhat on theme with the Jace and the Sejuani.
Okay, well,
what?
You take away Thresh, Taric, Blitzcrank, and what else are you going to put in there in terms of a beefy support that you can throw in? I was thinking maybe an Alistar or something like that, but instead they go for a Volibear, which is common into Yuumi, but as you guys know, we haven't seen her just yet, and Zilean is going to be ran back here. So that Zilean is going mid. Rascal is playing Jace as GenG reveal their composition, and now T1 have the option to counterpick, as I see LS over there shaking his head, not too happy about the Renekton hover. But will Kana be taking that? The answer is not likely. Okay. Ornn.
Oh,
saved.
Hello. Welcome myself back to the desk as Ornn was locked in finally on R5. It is the historic counter to the Jace. The other option would be the Yorick, but we haven't seen Yorick. Yeah,
this is Korea. They don't play that.
You're right. This is Korea. They don't do stuff like that. So Ornn coming out. Now, the thing is that GenG, this will come down to Zilean bombs versus T1 at 3 items plus. Ornaments are going to come out. It's going to be very obnoxious. Sylas has very key ults that he can steal away from the opponents that are really problematic for GenG to juggle. So even though there's a Zilean, it feels like GenG need to be the ones to get ahead, and they're coming into this match with the onus on them. High amount of responsibility to do something, and it's going to be really hard. You're playing Zilean with Sejuani in the jungle. That's a very weird pairing and combo.
Yeah.
There is a lot of misalignment here, and I feel like game number 3, T1 walk away yet again with a very powerful draft edge.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit scary. It doesn't mean GenG's out of it. The Zilean in a vacuum is really good. He can beat T1's team composition. The bombs and obviously his ultimate, but also enabling Kalista is very big.
Absolutely. I mean, just enabling her to be frontline and giving her a lot of speed, and of course, reviving her when she does go down. So guys, very interesting drafts once again here. GenG this time on blue. Let's jump into game number 3. There you go. As I was a little bit confused about that for a second, but when you play Kalista into Sylas, the Sylas gets a target that he can use Fate's Call on. And so he will choose Faker, actually. So he's not going to be throwing in an Ornn or an Effort or anything like that for an engage. He's actually going to use it for safety for Faker if the time does need it. So he can hop forward, steal Ruler's ultimate, save Faker with a Fate's Call. So cute little thing there as GenG go for a little bit of a walk through the jungle and river. They don't find much, but they put down a ward.
And Azir having that free get out of jail card, the Quicksilver Tom Kench, is basically what it is. I don't even, maybe there's a better name for it. Tom Silver Sash. we can go places. I mean, it's basically what the ability does.
Tom Cash. With a K, of course.
Oh man. Do you wonder if Tom tells people that every kiss begins with K? Like that commercial.
He would be the one. He would be the one.
All right, well, here in this game, we take a look at the runes, and everything pretty standard. We have Gathering Storm on a couple of champions as well. So everything is looking like we're going to brew up for a mid-game. First dragon of the game is Mountain.
What do you think about the Omni Stone on the Volibear?
That's
just to interject it, right? You know, so we were talking about the dragons.
Well,
you see it on support set, so maybe it's a similar idea.
The thing is that it feels like it's so hard for Volibear to do anything in this because Fresh Flay, Thresh Hook, so good at stopping him. I'm really curious to see why they picked it here. And you can see Jace feeling somewhat comfortable up in top lane with the call. Klid he's looking to Sin to start things off as 2 camps into a blue side invade. Life's going to come over and help him out, so managed to make it work that way. Cuz was opting for a full clear, and Kana just sitting really pretty up on the top side, and we just have to really pay attention to Rascal on this Jace to see what he can do. As Cuz looking like he wants to go for the blue buff of Sejuani, but take a look at Klid, this pathing. Now, Cuz has Smite, and this can get a little dangerous given that Jace has Prio, but it looks like he's going to be able to get it and steal it away.
Klid taking his time, actually. It looks like he was waiting for the Scuttler.
Oh, no.
And now Rascal, what an awkward spot. He's baited into this one. Will he go for the Fat Flash? He gets flashed on, and then a miss. Because of the misread flash, the kill is still going to come down. But the roam up here from BDD will net GenG their own kill. Although First Blood was given over to Kana.
And the thing about this is that BDD did end up roaming. Now, Faker actually killed all the minions really quickly, perhaps wanting to get a recall off that doesn't consume his teleport. We'll have to see. And take a look at this. Cuz comes up, and he goes for now he's playing a mind game right there by holding on to it to see if Jace will flash first, and then mispredicts where exactly Rascal ended up flashing to. And it ended up being a 1-for-1, but that's not the end of the world. So First Blood went over to Ornn, which is really valuable. He ends up building a Ruby Crystal first. Life and Ruler are going to pick up the Scuttle Crab on the right-hand side. And all things considered, it's not that bad of an opening for GenG, but Mountain Dragon is something that T1 wants to be able to get early.
They want to lock down that objective if they can, because after that start, it's just going to return to the Krugs that are going to be respawning here. Faker himself just farming it out. He's going to be a bit ahead on CS because of the way it did go down in the mid lane. Zilean not very good at CSing with his auto attacks, especially under turret, especially if, you know, it's kind of an awkward situation where a lot of the minions are taking damage. So he's going to get behind. Faker taking a little bit of an aggressive trade here, but not all that much, as we really want to see where these junglers are going to go. Lid, he hasn't really, you know, he was able to get up there and help with the initial kill, but other than that, just kind of farming it out as a nice little trade up in the top side. Kana this time around, looks more comfortable on that orange.
Now, GenG actually are going to be the ones to convert their bot lane prio into a Mountain Drake capture, as Cuz is more preoccupied on the left-hand side. And Kana, he went Balmy Cinder as the first. Oh, man.
Level 6 is taken, and Rascal doesn't have flash. That's about as easy as it gets. Cuz doesn't even wait for that one, and look at that giant wave that, or rather, Rascal is going to be missing.
Yeah.
Up in the top side. That is pretty dire straits for him, although he does have that teleport to get back to get some of it.
Yeah, and we can just see Jace was trying to get the recall TP off while he knew that a cannon wave was coming in, so he's not going to lose any minions, he'll lose one melee. But T1 capitalizing on that timing. And now, Kana is brewing for another solo kill. He elected to take Ignite, and now all that he's going to have to do is wait for the ultimate to be back up, and Jace has to be really careful not to fall below 750 HP or so, which, you take a look at his max HP, it's only 916. So, Ornn is able to get Jace into the Ornn combo lethal range really easily inside of the lane. And that is a very scary line to walk if you're Rascal when you don't have flash.
Yep. Just wait for it. Take a couple of trades, you'll have a fun time. Look at Teddy. He knows he has the lantern. He'll just hang around, get as much value out of that as possible. But this Rift Scuttler is still going to go the way of Klid, who does pick up level 6 now on that Sejuani. Cuz still level 5 up in the top side, trying to catch up.
And the bottom right-hand side of the map has slowed down. The one upside, though, is that Teddy is not walking out of this laning phase massively victorious, as Ruler actually ahead a little bit in CS. You can see Kana trying to shove in. Not going to end up getting a turret plate here, but it's not the end of the world. Now, the other thing that is a bit peculiar is that the lethality is the item of choice for Rascal as his first items. When with the Zillion, I would have thought maybe we would see a Monomune build that we've seen previously in the LCK, and then you try to play a poke war against T1 using Zillion bombs and Jace shock blasts. But the lethality is going to taper off very fast in the early and mid game against some of these T1 members, and he's going to really have to show up big in the mid game in order to have value. So Sunfire Cape is almost even built for Ornn.
He's kind of awkwardly gotten behind as Rascal. He doesn't have a big lead in CS. He's 0-2. He's missed some XP. He's level 7 to level 8 of Kana. And T1 say, you want to fight? I mean, we will come to you. Kana does have that call. The board's got it. It's stolen by Cuz. The bombs will come down, but Klid has the Zillion ultimate on top of him. But the Sejuani ultimate not going to get Cuz in the back line. As now Effort lining it up in the front, and in comes Cuz once again. He is going to go down, but he sets up the kill onto the Kalista, which is really all he was looking for there. Teddy, 2 kills, double buff, and T1 pick up the Rift Herald, and it's not done yet. This is a greedy recall. You do not have to recall there, and he gives a 3rd kill to Teddy.
And that's going to also be the blue buff going over to Faker, most likely, as Aladios is not going to end up getting it. And you can see that Klid is trying to run over to the left-hand side. He's going to get the bad news. He's going to start up the Gromp. But Kana, in the meanwhile, getting another turret plate. Klid cannot kill Kana here. Bellow's Breath would be able to invalidate any sort of a chase or lockups. Ornn is one tanky boy, as he's going to clear out that minion wave. Already got the turret plate, now he's going to channel the recall. 2,000 gold lead here, super early on. Let's take a look at how this all transpired. So, T1 rotate over, Cuz gets the steal. Horn comes out, double knockup onto key targets. BDD couldn't re-enter the fight. Zillion ultimate, just not getting a lot of value. Clit has to flash away, knows it's going to dissipate. The ignite from Horn ends up killing him. In the end, in the back line there, Cuz almost got the HP restore on the Silas. But Teddy and Faker playing cleanup crew. And I like how Faker accounted for if Jace walked back further, he would go down.
Yeah.
And maybe look to cover it up.
제이스 칼리 노플. 칼리브
나이스.
나이스. 오케이, 침착해.
Calm down. At the end there.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can tell that Teddy's having fun, right? He's got a big smile on his face, and he comes out, and he's 3-0. Now he's behind on CS, but 3-0 is a great feel anyway. So he's going to be having a good time there. After he picks up level 7 from this giant wave that's coming in. And now T1, we'll see if they have the access to fight in here as, okay, TP's coming in. Then they're just going to go for it here, GenG. They really want to get this, but it's stolen again by Cuz. Another objective taken as the smites are good here for Cuz at the end of the series. As down will go the Bear, not having much fun in this game at all.
Rascal.
Faker, he's on vision. Rascal desperately trying to get on top of him, but he can't. He's going to be hooked and killed. As
Truly a death sentence.
Yep, the kill does go the way of the Thresh, and Faker stays alive. How about another kill and an assist for Teddy, who is absolutely gigantic in this game.
And this is looking really grim right now for GenG here. As T1 extend their gold lead even more. The Rift Herald's gonna come out. And Teddy, wow, he's getting so much damage. And I believe,
well,
no, actually.
I don't even know what to say about this.
700.
He even barriered early. That was just a little bit of overconfidence, and whoever was saying calm down, I think they got to tell Teddy one more time.
Well, we take a look at this team fight. Another really good steal away. Rascal couldn't quite kill Faker. And then look at the right-hand side. He misses yet another shock blast. Feels really unfortunate. And then it was all just about dogging him down here. So let's take a look at this one more time. Silas, point of view. Windows mode. Look. And he has the Zillion ultimate. He says, I'm okay. And then it comes back into live, and they commit a teleport here. BDD slows down Teddy, goes for the double bomb, and Clit actually takes it, which...
Why?
Yeah, well,
why? That was even, killing Jace fast, I understand. He can be scary at times. Killing Teddy, who's on 0 health and is going to die to the bomb. Just give that one over. BDD will be desperate for gold as the game does come along. Ruler here, he's got the most gold on his team. I think he and Clit are pretty similar there. As Kana, we talk about how Ornn is a ninja. Here's one moment where he's got it going on. As now the exhaust is going to come in. Really nice knockback from Rascal to save him there. But yet another trade going to be won by Kana. As will they go in for this one? The box comes down, but it doesn't quite catch the bear. So the bear trap ineffective this time around.
And Faker getting slowed by Zillion.
See, he went in for the plate, so he got out of position. He got the plate, but then he felt like, okay, if Clit's here, I'm dead. So I might as well just be safe and flash.
And now Faker. Just wave clearing in mid. Ruler is the one upside right now. Oh, okay, he's dead.
Well, now he doesn't have flash.
It's a nice
easy follow-up for Clit.
Nice big kill for them. Jace also completed his call. 1.5 minutes now until the Ocean Dragon comes up. Faker's not going to have flash available for that.
Oh, Ruler, what is going on? He's just getting in there. Although Effort is the smart one. He immediately puts down the lantern. He's like, nope, we're not winning this fight. We got the heal out of him, but we're not going to kill him. And immediately Effort is really on position. Effort's quietly having a very clean and great series so far.
And T1 grouping for the second Rift Herald here. They should be able to pick it up for mostly free, as Rascal tries to dish out some damage, but the real fight is going to be at the Ocean Dragon, coming up in 50 seconds. We'll see how close Faker is to getting the Nashor's Tooth, as Kana has 2 of his ornaments completed. I'm going to pretend that there's not a Frozen Fist, but
yeah,
totally fine. It does have a lot of value against the lethality. So the extra armor is good there, but obviously missing out a little bit on the Abyssal Mask, given that there's enormous amounts of magic damage on his team and all that HP and mana. But Faker, so he just got caught out here. The wave was coming into the turret no matter what, and Cuz is on the right-hand side, so it would be safe. He didn't need to walk that far up, which, interestingly enough, the reason that he flashed seconds prior to that was that if Sejuani comes out of the Fog of War over the wall, he would have been dead to a Zillion Bomb.
Yeah.
But then he stands in a spot that leaves him still susceptible to it. So
Ruler and Life in a brush down there. It doesn't really feel like it's shown. It's like there's no brush there, but actually there is. So just pretend there's a brush there, guys. The Life, Lid, and Ruler all grouping up. Speaking of grouping up, T1 over here. Faker taking a little bit of damage. He wants to go for a back and get full health, but no TP left available.
yeah.
This Dragon will be started up, and it doesn't look like T1 really want to fight too much, although here we go. Kana is going to come in and check it. Will Cuz get here on time? It looks like the answer's no. Death sentence actually pretty close. Ultimate is going to come out. Not sure how they plan on killing the Ornn. And it doesn't really pan out as down will go Shirley.
Oh.
And now they found BDD in the mid lane. Gonna force that ultimate out here from the Zillion. Shock Blast doing a lot, and in goes the Bear into that back line. But Kana and Cuz having a lot of tankiness between the two of them. Kana just gonna heal with that unsealed spellbook, and the push will continue. They take out a turret in the mid lane after all of that action.
And T1, they're still retaining about their 3,000 gold advantage over their opponents. They're waiting on more core item completions to come in. And Ruler is the really scary problem right now, because he is so massive on this Kalista. He has almost a third, I mean a little bit over actually, 30 CS advantage here over Teddy. Kana gonna rotate down to bottom. Now, if you're T1, you still have 10 minutes until a soul would come up. You can easily just scale into ornaments and keep purchasing them on all of your champions. So you get Zanya's Paradox on the Sylas, get the Molten Edge for the Aphelios. And you can see that Thresh already picked up the Mikhail's Crucible. And things are in a little bit of a standstill now. It's very hard for either team to force a team fight without the opponent somehow being able to consent otherwise.
Yeah, that is very true. I don't think, unless there's a big mistake that either unless there's a big mistake made, I don't think anything's going to happen here. As speaking of mistakes, you have Life getting hit from downtown, but the Volibear is going to be able to heal back up and be just fine, but did have to flash away from that one, so a little bit of a mistake made to grant T1 some ability to move in here on this top turret.
And as it currently stands, Faker still just shoving away up in top lane. Not really doing a whole bunch. We're just going to play ping pong now. This is one of our favorite pastimes here in the LCK.
Big fan.
It wouldn't be a final without it.
It's true. We need to have it here as, is that 334? Oh.
That is 334. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a thing. Ooh.
Like, who wins this trade? Yes, nice knockback, but like,
Ornn is very unpleased.
That was his full combo, like everything.
Yeah.
He could have used every cooldown in his kit. But here he's like, I can't help you. What am I gonna do? There it is, the mage, the wizard, the absolute 200 IQ genius That is a Ornn from 2 levels ahead, is able to clap the Jace in front of the 2 of them. And that tank has Smite, by the way. He's level 13.
Yeah, and he TP's in, and Sejuani on the right-hand side of the map. Now, she should be able to get here in time for this to be a Smite fight. You can see Klid almost there. He has Flash, and remember, he has his ability to move forward.
Okay.
Oh, but he gets stopped!
Okay, gonna get in there, and, well, there you have it. The Smite will go the way.
Oh!
That's a nice couple of bombs. In goes Light. Do they have the damage,
No,
though?
they
And
don't.
the answer is no. The AoE damage coming out here from Teddy is huge, and Ruler is trying so hard, but he can't quite do it alone. As now we got another Ornhorn, by the way. It's up again. They've got one Cloud Drake. It's going to help out a lot as down you go. That's a bruiser, by the way. Just going to smack him down. And that will be another kill going the way of T1. They take Baron. They get pretty much everything. As now with the Ocean Drake coming up here, T1 are just so far ahead.
Well, that is potentially the nail in the coffin, Valdez. That was such a series of events that just ended up unfolding. And I have no idea what to even say about it. And remember, this is Ornn, the Mage, Death Knight, Paladin, Hunter, Rogue, Warrior, Enchanter, Tank, Bruiser, Wizard, Warlock, Priest, Assassin, Gunslinger, Druid, Shaman, Necromancer, Ninja, Bard, Monk, Robot, Conjurer, Blacksmith, Mystic, Warding, God, Illusionist, Templar, Wizard, showing what he can really do here in this game. The Baron ends up going the way of T1. Klid almost was able to get there. It was a Hail Mary attempt, and the Volibear sort of goes in, but then I don't know what he's supposed to accomplish, because it's not like he's being fasted by Senna, and he has excess items or even higher base levels. So, for the most part, just able to be ignored. And like you pointed out, much like a wizard, Ornn has the ultimate up again, and Rascal just gets brought down. So in live, though, we get another fight.
Omnipotent.
Yeah, and it looks like
the high fives are already coming out. I think the coaches know this is clean so far, this series. Now Cuz has got the angle. Oh no. We're gonna get the knock up here, and you see just huge amounts of chunking in the front line as BDD just desperately is gonna get that double stun, but it doesn't matter. As everybody else is just gonna be burst down. They're smacking them with their wallets, as our good friend Atlas would say. And there it is. The hook is going to come down. No more ultimate for you, BDD. See you later. Effort's going to go down, but it doesn't matter. Teddy is going to pick it up, and I think that was the unofficial Penta.
That was an unofficial Penta.
He got the triple-double here in League of Legends. 9-1-4. This Aphelios is doing a lot right now, and there's nothing that GenG can do to stop him.
And I think that this is probably all she wrote. T1 have now gone up to almost a 10,000 gold lead here at just such an early game point, all things considered, for what we expected out of these two team comps. And take a look at this. As the Ocean fight, you can see GenG, they're lining up for Ornn. And even though he doesn't hit a Miracle Ultimate, it's so hard for GenG to juggle the aggro. You have a Jace playing backline, trying to peel for the Kalista and the Zillion, but Zillion doesn't offer enough right now, and just the base levels and the wallets on the side of T1. Insane value and really good angle of engage for T1, where GenG just couldn't really juggle it, and things are falling apart all across the map. Ornaments are starting to come in on the champions, on T1, just to add insult to injury.
Yep, it's pretty insane what they're able to do, and it was insane that Kana was only able to hit one person when they were all lining up in a literal row. But he managed it. It didn't end up mattering, but they still were able to win this fight heavily. Because now they're just pushing without Baron. Baron going to spawn in 2 minutes. Who knows if this game is even going to last 2 more minutes at this rate. Ruler is their only hope, but when you're going up against this much power, I don't think it really matters. Kalista doesn't quite have the range.
No.
Nor the firepower.
And we'll see. As Faker is going to get the blue. And I am looking at the items here, and things are just looking really rough.
Yeah.
If
You're
you
also
look
looking at a
across the
champ,
board.
by the way.
Yeah, I am looking at a champ.
Because at this rate, I think we can already kind of say that T1 have solidified their spot on that throne. We'll see if GenG can pull off the miracle comeback, but it's not looking good. Not gonna lie to you guys.
Well, this is really Doom's spot. Now, GenG, they did buy themselves. Well, they have a lot of time bought because Ocean Soul doesn't come up for a while. Baron in 50 seconds is scary. However, Zilean can try to wave clear, and they could try to give up inhibitors and then try to stay afloat inside of the game. So maybe worst case scenario, if you're a T1 fan, you're waiting about another 9 minutes for an end. But T1 could easily just blow this wide open in the next 3 minutes and also end there. Not really a whole bunch of options that can unfold, and man, a 3-0, Valdez. That is what's on the menu apparently.
Yeah, it was not the most common prediction. That was actually 3-1. That did get predicted. Everybody did predict T1, and you know, after seeing the series, I suppose that does make sense. GenG is going to make one last stand. They're just gonna go for it. Gonna try to land some bombs on a Teddy, who has Severum and insane amounts of lifesteal. He's 9-1 right now, as he's just frontlining. I'm not sure about that one. He does have stopwatch. Can he actually get out of this as he immediately flashes, and look at the AoE damage. That should be the nail in the coffin right here, as 3 members, though, of GenG will be able to get away. T1 now, they have the Rift. It is their oyster. They can do whatever they want with it. It looks like they're going to send a couple over to the Baron and 3 towards mid to push. Because as I mentioned, they can do whatever they want. They can even teleport Faker back into the fight to continue pushing, as there's still 20 seconds left on Ruler's death timer.
And they're achieving multiple things at once here. They're gonna raise the mid-inhibitor turret while getting the Baron.
Yeah. Not gonna push to end just yet.
They're gonna go for a reset off of this, probably pick up the Ocean Dragon. And things are looking really grim. 13,000 gold lead here for T1 in 27 minutes. And the Fabled Book has been completed, and in it lies on the first page, GenG.
Absolutely. They've written it down. Look at Teddy. He's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
So Teddy ends up going golden. It buys enough time for Eladios to do a lot after he comes out of the stasis. And it was just a pretty easily won team fight.
Well, Rascal here, just to add insult to injury, is going to be demolished in the bottom side. And there's the Ocean. As you do see that it will go down one more away from the Soul.
Yep.
As this feels like the end of an American football game, you know, where they're like 14 points ahead and there was an interception. It's like, okay, there's 2 minutes left in the game, but everybody's already celebrating. That's the way it actually feels right now. Because T1, there's, you know, Teddy almost has 5 items, or full builds at this point at 30 minutes. They're just tanking it. Kinda, you know, he's got like 400 armor. What does he care? TP will be coming in. As there's the engage, they find Ruler. He is going to flash away, but for how long? He is actually able to get away from the engage of Cuz. As Cuz will just hop away. Down goes another inhibitor. As from downtown, by the way, he's just going to ult himself just in case. Didn't want to add another death onto this one. 1-1 and 5 looks okay for BDD, at least in the loss.
Yep, and now they're just shredding the turrets. Help from all the minions.
There you go, the double knockup. He finds Ruler on the bottom side. Bullabear dies, and that is going to do it. T1 are your LCK Spring 2020 champions in another 3-0 victory in the world. As T1 dominate their opponents, GenG, it was not close. And they will once again sit on the throne that is the LCK.
And T1, they came into tonight's series, they 3-0 the opposition in dominating fashion. It wasn't even close. And they walk away victorious. Baker continues to extend his streak of finals, only having ever lost one. That is such an insane stat when you consider it. So the legacy lives on. And T1, it feels like they just came into this much better prepared. They seem to be much more comfortable even inside of the games. And then GenG ended up getting bested really quickly here tonight.
That they did. I don't think it was the fastest finals we've had amongst all the regions, but it might have been second fastest. It was even the games, you know, if it weren't for game one that went to, 46 minutes or something, this would have been the fastest final. And really I think it was halfway through game two where
Kana Royal Road it.
He did. He made
is
it.
Now, I don't know what you would call it. He is inducted. I don't know.
He's a Royal Roader.
Yeah, he's a Royal Roader. So if you're not familiar with the term Royal Road, it is I guess not an award explicitly, but it's an achievement that you earn in Korea when you debut in the Major League for the first time as a starter or a first comer and make it all the way to the finals and then win it.
Yeah.
So you only ever have one chance ever in your career to Royal Road. There's not a lot of Royal Roaders in the history of Korean majors.
Yeah, and I actually have a list on that note. Shy Mata, Tom Blank, Cry, Hoonie, and Prophet, Cuz, Clid, and Gory are the other Royal Roaders. So add Kana to that list as a Royal Roader.
So many records. But first, let's wait till all the crews to join. So let's start off with Coach Kim, the leader of this team. Another title going to your pocket, now on a different team, T1. Once again, congratulations. And how do you feel right now? I'm happy that we won. And I'm just want to say, the players did so well. I feel like I did nothing. I think all the players made it. And I just want to say they did a great job, and I'm super happy. Thank you. I mean, 3-0, and it was a one-side stomp from the side of T1. But before the game, you said, well, we don't know until we actually play, and sometimes we fell really behind through the screams. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really predict this. I never knew that it's gonna be 3-0, but we had a really nice momentum, and players knew how to roll it. And they were so good at macro. So with that huge momentum, we were able to close out the game with 3 games. So, who would you pick as the MVP for today's series? I always mentioned all 5 players. But I mean, today, I cannot pick just one player. Because League of Legends is a team game, and all 5 players did their role fully. And Cuz with the mic. Today, your game up against Clid. Some people said it's gonna be a close or hard game for you. However, Graves in game number 1, that easy kill on BDD. What happened there? Well, I knew it, but he actually really passed in that path. So luckily I was able to get that kill, and I was super nervous before going into game, but the way we played, the result we got was so good. That one kill was so crucial. So how are you able to get that kill in such a nervous and important situation? With that kill, our atmosphere was getting better, and I could feel more comfortable. And at the same time, we could put a lot of pressure onto GenG. Kanna, how do you feel right now? First of all, Well, my performance was not satisfying, but all my teammates were doing such a great job, so I was able to get this win. And our coaching staff, head coach, and my teammates, they were doing so much work. Without them, I couldn't get this result and win the title.
형대의 어떤 면이 오늘 경기뿐만 아니라 쭉 이렇게 돌아보면
Not just today. I mean, you became the royal worlder. You were just joining T1, but now you are the starting top laner, getting the title in LCK in T1. I know there was a huge competition, right? You said you thank your teammates really a lot. I mean, they taught me so much things. They were helping me out. They were making me feel so comfortable. And you always mentioned your families. Is there any word you want to add lastly? Whenever it was my game day, they always messaged me, my families, my friends. I want to say thank you to my families and friends. Would you like to give any names to a specific person? Everyone was worrying about me, and so who? Everyone, especially Janggun Nuna, she always messaged me a lot to feel comfortable, don't be nervous, do your best, so I could rely on her. So this is another good news for the hometown of Kanna, Andong. Hope we can see another celebration going on into your town. And Faker, your 9th title in LCK. And this is the second time you get this back-to-back-to-back title in LCK and the oldest mid laner to win LCK. You've accomplished a lot of new histories today. I mean, I'm living young, so the fact that I'm the oldest mid laner to win a title doesn't really feel real. And I really wanted to get this win today. And we were having a lot of up and down. We were having a lot of hard time in the spring split, but we all together did our best, and I'm happy that we were able to get this win. Yeah, some people also said it's gonna take some time for T1 to win this new roster. But however, you guys were able to take down the strongest team in the regular splits, GenG, in such a short time. Our coaching staffs and head coach, they all just did a great job in coaching us and leading us. So we were able to be jointed as a team. And our teammates, we were all playing for the team. So we were able to get this great result. Yeah, now you got the spring split. What's your upcoming goal? Summer or Worlds? Is there any pledge you want to make? Well, throughout the split, we weren't able to see our fans. However, with the support from our fans, I was able to cheer up. And you know, the end of the journey is always Worlds, so I want to continue this momentum and get a good result. What's your goal or promise for Worlds? I mean, I made a promise last year when I won the title, so I cannot make a promise right now. But, well, maybe this time, I want to show Korea is the best. But it might be too early. But I want to keep this goal in my mind. Teddy. So you had the unofficial penta kill as well. I mean, wasn't this so close, getting the penta in the finals? I mean, a little bit sad that I missed the penta in the finals, but still feels awesome to win LCK.
한 시즌이 아니었나, 한 스플릿이 아니었나 생각이 됩니다.
I guess it was a very meaningful split for you. So how do you feel right now?
팀원들이 다들 너무
My teammates were doing a great job.
저도 하기 너무 게임 하기
So
너무 편했던 것
it
같고
was so comfortable for me to play.
3대 0으로 이겨서 너무 기분 좋고
I'm happy that we got 3-0 win.
너무 감사합니다.
And thank you for all your support.
자, 끝으로 그리고 2명 있으니까 예, 다들 에포트.
Effort.
우승하면 뭐 하기로 하지 않았어요?
Didn't you make a pledge
우승하면
for winning the
뭐
title?
하기로 했죠? 잘 기억이 안 나요.
머리를
I said I was gonna dye my hair blue, my favorite color.
언제쯤 볼
When are you gonna dye your hair?
아직 구체적인 일정이
I don't have a specific schedule, but when I have a downtime, maybe I will.
뭐가 얘기하고 싶은 거예요? 페이커
Faker,
방송에서 한번 하는 건 어떨까요?
would you like to add on to that?
하고
Maybe
나서
during the
끝나고 나서
streams,
개인
effort.
방송에서 공개하는 걸로.
Yeah, maybe I'll dye my hair and stream with my new fresh hair in blue.
한 말씀 하셔야 될 것 같습니다.
Any last words for the fans?
네, 저 좀 부족한 점도 많았는데
Well,
팀원들이 좀
I had a lot of room to
도와주고
improve
해서
this split,
우승까지
but
할수 있었던 것
with the
같고요.
help
네.
from my teammates, I was able to get this trophy.
정말
And
힘나고
The cheer and support from our fans really cheered me up, and it was adding a lot of energy. So I want to say thank you to all my fans.
사실 뒤에서 보는 것도 많이 공부되는 거 아니겠습니까?
Elim,
예, 어떠셨어요?
also watching your team playing also teaches you a lot of things, right?
제가 비록 경기에는 뛰지
Even though I wasn't able to play,
역시 팀이라서 그런지
but at the same time, because we are a team, I'm super happy. And watching them in the room,
되게 얻는 게 많았던 것 같아요.
I earned a lot of things.
예. 자, 그리고 오늘 뭐 여러 명의 그 뒤에 그뭐 구마유 씨도 많은 선수 있습니다.
I mean, there are a lot of rookie players staying in T1 like Gumayushi, Elim.
이 자리에 없는 선수들도 많이
Yeah, there are a lot of players who aren't here with us right now, but there are also such a great players. So keep supporting us. Thank you.
코치들도 또 얘기를 해봐야죠.
And we have the coaches here as well.
네, 우승에 사실 우리가 오래 봤잖아요. 예, 뭐 명함을
So
줬어요.
comment.
바뀌었어요 또.
I've seen you for a long time.
코치분들도 한 말씀.
How do you feel right now?
좀 정말 좀
I
부담되는
mean,
자리였는데
it-
들어갔을 때
joining T1 was a
부담을 좀
huge
이기고
pressure,
뭔가 해낸
but
것 같다는
I feel like
느낌이
I've overcome the
들고
pressure and
저희
accomplished
팀원들이랑
something.
감독님이
And our
너무
teammates,
잘해줘서
our head coach, they were
감사하고
doing a great work, so I'm
저희
thankful for them.
이팀 친구들이
And we also have an academy roster. They are really
잘해줘서
doing a great job
그런
helping
좋은
us with the
결과
practice.
만들 수 있는 것 같습니다.
So with all those help, we were able to get this result. And Coach Moment,
많이 한 건 없지만
well, I haven't done a lot of things, but thanks to all the nice teammates, head coaches, I was able to get this result. And as someone said before, Gumayushi, Kuri, Roche, Corey, they are all with this together, so we were able to get this trophy.
끝으로 김종성도 다시 한번 팬들께 향후에 또
Lastly,
생각보다 빠르게
Kim.
그 영입은 탑 영입은 실패했습니다만
I mean,
육성은 성공한 거
before the split or in the early split, you said the top pickup was a failure, but you guys made it to the finals and got the trophy. Any last message? So with this pleasant victory of the spring split, I'm super happy. And as Faker mentioned, Summer and Worlds, we are aiming to Worlds. So with this day's victory, I want to become a team that can dream a bigger dream. And I want to say for the fans out there watching us online and supporting us, thank you. Now you guys have to get changed and get ready for the award ceremony. So let's wrap up the interview here. And this, once again, this is our 2020 LCK Spring Split Champions T1. Please give a round of applause.
자, 타임 들어가서 옷 갈아입자. 네. 네. 자, 지금 T1 선수들은
So T1 players
우승 세레머니
will be getting ready for the award ceremony.
있는 중입니다. 다들 아시는 것처럼 이
And we have
코로나 위기로
due to the coronavirus
결승을 하지 못했던
pandemic, we weren't able to be joined by our fans at the arena, but we are having a lot of support
그렇죠.
from the fans here at the arena, printed out on the cardboards.
참여해주신 많은 분들 덕분에 성공적으로 이번 결승전이 이루어질 수 있었습니다.
And thanks to all the love and support from our LCK fans, we were able to end this 2020 LCK Spring Split final successfully. We are looking forward to having a very energetic split coming in for the summer season.
무려 빅토리를 8에서 9로 바꾼
T1 reached the V9, Victory 9
자, 그럼 이제
here in LCK.
선수를 옷갈아입는 게 거의 끝났으면
As the T1 players are ready,
넘어가도록 하겠습니다.
let's move over to the award ceremony.
자, 시상식은 다들 아시는 것처럼 이제 두 부분으로
So we
나누는데요.
have two departments for this award ceremony. First, finals MVP, the series MVP, and the winner of the spring split.
파이널 MVP 누구? 뭐 이럴 텐데.
It's a shame that we cannot hear the crowds for the award ceremony. So, who do you think will be the finals MVP?
누구? 아, 네. 예. 커지는 본인이었어. 자, 그러면
Because
준비됐겠죠?
voted for himself.
네.
And let's
자, 그럼 이제,
see the real
시상식 준비가 됐으니까. 자, 그럼 이제
award
입장하실 분을
for
여러분
the
계시고요.
series
자,
MVP.
시작하실 분은 자, 우리은행의 최홍식 개인 그룹
So,
부회장님께서 소개해 주겠습니다. 여러분.
Hong-sik Choi, the Uribank Executive Vice President of Private Group, will help us with the award ceremony.
아, 제가 이쪽으로 넘어가겠습니다. 자, 그러면 자, 파이널 MVP 누구일지
Who's gonna be the finals MVP?
다시 한번 누굴까?
Who is it gonna be?
난가? 페이커 난가?
Faker, like, is it me?
넌가?
And Cuz also, is it me?
아, 이번에 3대0이나 정말
It was a
쉽지 않을
3-0
것 같습니다.
game,
자,
so
그러면
it's gonna be
자,
a
긴장된
competition
거는
for
우리
this
최용식
MVP.
궁금해하시는 것 같아. 바로 공개하도록 하겠습니다. 파이널 MVP는 여러분 큰 박수로 축하해 주시기 바랍니다.
Please
커즈
give a warm round of
우찬입니다.
applause. It's Cuz Uchan Moon,
네, 앞으로 나가서
the T1 jungler, won the series title and also the series MVP. The winner, the final MVP, will be awarded of 5 billion Korean won.
자, 오늘 특히 정글 부분에서 큰 어려움이 예상이
Because
됐습니다만
a lot of people expected that the jungle competition will be really hard and difficult, but however, Cuz was actually handling it so easily up against Clid.
말씀드린 바와 같이 첫 킬부터 뭔가 의미가 있었고요. 그래서
That first kill in game number 1 so critical, and he won multiple smite fights in game number 3, wrapping up the series.
우승 시상을 하도록 하겠습니다.
And lastly,
관객들이 없는 관계로 제가 뭐
the
크게 외치고
champion
여러분들과
ceremony of
보겠습니다.
2020 LCK Spring
자,
Split.
오늘의 대망의 우승팀 시상을 하도록 하겠습니다. 시상은 역시 우리은행의
Once again, we'll be joined by Uribank Executive Vice President of Private Group, Hong-sik Choi. And the winner of the spring split will be awarded 100 million Korean won. Your spring split champions will be T1. T1 will be awarded with 100 million Korean won to a team. And the team captain Faker will get this award. Back-to-back-to-back finalists and back-to-back-to-back champions. I hope T1 can keep this momentum till the summer split and also Worlds. Once again, congratulations on the win. And also, I would like to say thank you once again for Hong-sik Choi for helping us with this award ceremony.
Thank you, Ji-sun, once again for the translation of the award ceremony and all that good stuff. with Casterjun on the... I can still hear him.
him.
Anyway, guys, huge congratulations to T1. Absolute domination there in their victory over GenG. I expected it to be a bit closer than that, LS, to be honest, but ends up that T1 are the big favorite here in Korea going into summer, and that's really interesting to see who will be able to challenge them in the next split.
And I don't know what it's going to be, because we'll have to see what the offseason has in store for us when we end up resuming. The patches aren't really changing all that much right now, so could just pick up right where we left off, and that would mean a battle again amongst the top 3.
So guys, that's going to do it for us. This is the first time without an audience here at the LCK. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us throughout the entire split. This is the end of this split, and congratulations once again to T1 for their victory. Hopefully GenG can come back in summer and try a bit harder, but we will see you next week for LCK Summer Promotions. But until then, that is going to do it for us here at the Spring Split. Thank you once again so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Good night.